Bladder, like and subscribe. I recently finished reading a book twice called Hagi Kuri, which was written like 300 years ago by a Japanese samurai, and it's a very insightful book and interesting, and I enjoy it because it has loads of lessons. It has life lessons. It has lessons. Let me get it. It's ruining my damn audio over here. Sorry about that. Hagikuri has life lessons, it has insights, it has things that, when you ponder them, give you different views and different perceptions, if you have the ability to do so. But then again, I guess everything it does in life, like, everyone has a different view of something, and some of us can agree with certain things, and that's why wars happen, that's why arguments happen, and that's why friendships happen and love happens, because everyone has a different perspective of what is in this reality. Talking about reality, who wants to be in this reality, am I right? Transcend with me, people. I'm gonna become one of these new religious, new. This is something that's been done by men for all of humanity. It's time to join my cult now. It's my time. T-pose to assert dominance, and also to praise Zenith, who is the god that I've just created. And Jesus, I nearly said some religious stuff which I don't want to get into, because I know how angry some people can get about that. Even just by my appearance, some races can get angry at me, even other white people. But I'm a nice person. I do nice things. I help people when I can. I've given to charity. That means I'm nice. But have I done it recently? The thing with being a nice person is perspective. Like, what makes you nice? What makes you bad? And does it even exist? Is that just survival? Should we just reproduce as much as we can while we can in this life? Or should we strive to be happy and to acquire knowledge? Here in my garage, remember that video? Making YouTube videos is a damn shame that that humanity has gotten to this point, and that I am I'm not even one of the first ones. Well, what generation am I in terms of like online video creation? Because I know like PewDiePie, they're like the second. They're not even the first generation. They're like the second generation. The first guys like no one even knows about. I know like a bit about them because I listen to a bunch of YouTubers like who were around in the olden days, like talking about the first pioneers of online video creation, and I barely even know any of that stuff. It's like stuff that people would say is cringy today, stuff that the Zoomers on TikTok would say is they don't even know that this stuff exists. I think the majority of Zoomers on TikTok, I think they don't understand how things are created. They just think that things exist. Isn't that funny? Is that, I bet a bunch of human beings are like that. It's like they go into a shop and they just see bottled like Diet Coke in Africa or Brazil or wherever the fuck you're at. Somewhere where they still have slavery and it's like a third world country, and they go, how does this plastic make? What is this? They don't even like go deeper than what is this. Do they know that like all this thing is like billions of dollars, and massive companies and massive economics, Reaganomics. Let's bring back Reaganomics. I don't even know what that is. I just know the word. What is that? Did he like do some sort of plan to give Americans a whole bunch of money? Joe Biden. I got a thing to say to Joe Biden. Why you shit yourself in Rome when you're he's shitting himself everywhere? I'm sorry to say that, I know I might be vulgar. I know I might be disrespecting the President of the United States, but and leader in world peace, Mr. President Joe Biden. This is a message for you. You gotta watch yourself, because Trump's coming back. I don't even support Trump. I don't support any of these politicians and things like that. I know Boris was at the party, dancing around without a mask, with everyone's laughing and shit, and then like he goes outside and he looks at children really, really angrily, like that. Like, and they have to put their masks on because Boris Johnson told them to, because he's a prime minister. Governments and the way that they enforce the rules and things like that. You know, the funny thing is, all of the rules are just on an old piece of paper. And the way society works and the world works, I think idiots just enforce it. It's like, well, what is the police when you really think about it, except a bunch of people that believe that they have power, and because they are at a certain level of strength and have equipment and the ability to track you and the ability to imprison you legally and things like that. And lawyers are the shadiest motherfuckers, you cheeky little bastards. And it's not even like their fault. They're a part of society and a part of humanity in first world countries and in a bunch of countries and things like that. And it's interesting to think about when a human being goes and does a job, and like they become what they do. It's interesting to see, because I don't even think a bunch of people know that like they're just living the same lives that people have lived forever. And I think it's a bit of what's it called when you don't accept something, where you like turn your brain off and to what's happening. Is like, our lives, we only have one life. A lot of people believe that we transcend and we go to heaven or hell, or we have multiple lives and things like that. But I believe that we only have one life. And I see a lot of people just, oh man, I went to work all year, and I got money, and I got a house and a wife and a kid and all of these things. Only one kid. If fucking the majority of people only have like 2 kids in their life. What are you doing? How did we get here? By reproducing as much as possible. I don't get all of this new age. It's because of religion, isn't it? It's like religion and community and things like that from the olden age, from ages ago. Ages ago. You know the time frame, ages ago. I just talk about whatever. I don't even really like talking about a subject and just going down on one subject. I talk about fucking everything, because there's too many things to talk about. Like, if I only focus on one thing, there's like a billion other interesting things that I'm going to forget about. So forgive me if I seem scatterbrained. But really, if you look deeper, I'm actually a genius on the same level as Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk's a genius and he's not a sociopath. And I'm not a sociopath. I'm only joking. Fucking, there are certain qualities that is psychopaths and sociopaths and, good qualities. As in, like, you don't get bogged down by emotions. You don't, what else? You don't let the minutiae of situations screw with you. You're like single-minded, and you fucking go past all of the bullshit in life. Life throws a lot of bullshit at you, and you have to kind of. It's good to be respectful and like emotional and show people you care and be a nice person, but you also have to go past some bullshit. And there is a ton of trash that just wants to screw with your mind and waste your time in this world. I don't mind certain things wasting my time, like kids that I will have and I don't know everything to say on this damn YouTube channel. I can't say everything that's happening in my life because then fucking I'm gonna have to talk to a bunch of people and they're gonna start looking at me differently. They're gonna like, how many kids did you have? I'm like, shut up. How old are you? You're not allowed to do that in this society. I'll be fuck off. Let me fucking live. Let me be a human being that I was always meant to be. Fucking human beings are petty little creatures. No, I'm only joking. Some of them are. I've met a bunch of them, and it's just a shame. It's a shame that people have been brought up a certain way, and their parents, they haven't like transcended, like me. Join my cult. I've transcended. I don't know how many years it takes to transcend, but I know some of the philosophers said that like they didn't feel until an adult, or they didn't feel like they were having their best work and best thoughts until they're like in their midlife, which is like 35 to 45 or whatever. And I'm not even gonna. I don't think I'm gonna live until I'm 90. I don't because I mean look at this. I don't have the most fat in the world, but I do have like belly fat, which shows that I have like an excess of insulin in my body, and which shows that I'm having excess sugars and things like that. But then I need because I'm doing so much exercise and things like that. And I'm walking everywhere. I need like to eat certain foods to feel good, to be able to be mentally and physically good. Or I'll just be sitting around all day, you know, whining, going, "Oh, I didn't eat enough," or "I didn't have, you know, this experience of food that I wanted." Like, there's so many factors that, because I'm weak, I'll admit it. I don't seem weak, and I do a lot of things that aren't weak, like you know, beating grown men up. Well, I get beaten up as well, so I can't just say I'm a killer. I'm a serial killer. I'm the strongest man in the world. No one is. Even the top guy in the world, I bet they're dealing with personal problems as well. We're all weak. We're all very fragile, and it doesn't take a lot to break a human being, which is actually a shame. It's a shame that we're physically and mentally weak, but I know my shortcomings. I know what I'm not good at, and I always try and improve, and I always try and help other people, even though some people. There was this black kid who was looking at me with like this face. Another black guy who fucking walked by me on the streets, and he just had the angriest fucking look in the world, like he was about to fucking take his hands out of his pocket with a knife and shank me like 50 times. Fucking, not only black people, it's fucking white people as well, and every race, every human beings like I only want to deal with nice people for the rest of my life. That's actually what I want to do. Nice people who want to have my children. And if you don't like that I have children, I'm gonna I'm gonna shame you for some reason. There's always something that you can shame another being for. Like if you look at them, you could say, "Oh, your eyes are too close together. Oh, your forehead's too big. Where's your hair? I don't know. You're too fat. You're too ugly. You're too." We never say no. Some people say nice things. I've been complimented yesterday. A guy that I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu with said that I have like really good defense, and I was like, oh thank you. Ooh, oh, you shouldn't have, you big bastard. Oh, you big dummy. Oh, you shouldn't have. Ooh, you're gonna make ooh, you're gonna make me come. I'm not gay though. I'm not even bisexual. That's the shame of like me and my psyche. I don't find any. I'm only heterosexual, and I think that actually affects my quality of life because it means that I'm gonna have to search for other women, and the majority of them that I've come to learn in my years on this earth don't like the way that I look. And if they like the way that I look, then they don't like my personality because I've got some I got something wrong with me. No, well, geniuses are like a abnormality, aren't they? Look at me calling myself a genius because I am. I got into a grammar school. Does that mean anything? If I got into a grammar school and I have the ability to do algebra and long division, I haven't done long division in ages. I want to learn a bunch of languages. I know two. I know like two languages, and then the basics of Spanish, and then barely any of Japanese. But I bet if I actually learn all of those three languages, I can't even spell in English. Can't do maths. I need to learn maths. I need to learn coding. I need to learn instruments. And instruments help with maths. And does maths help with coding? Physics. I need to know. I need to know so much more. I'm only still young, still in the 20s. On the good side of no wait, yeah, on the good side of 30. Check this boy out. Impregnating everyone. I wish. I wish. It's not even good. If I impregnate everyone, then there's probably going to be a lot of like abortions because of abnormalities within the children. He's like, that one has 5 arms. That one has 5 arms. Get rid of it. Society. Or I'm gonna fucking if I could impregnate everyone, like every woman in the world, then if I had the ability to do that, I would be the God Emperor at that point. So then I would put them to work. I would put all those abnormal creatures to work, and they're still human, but okay. Now this is comedy. I'm trying to do comedy here, but it just sounds like I'm being a heartless, like monster talking about using, people who are disabled. So I'm not gonna go down that path. I had a disabled grandparent, which means I can talk about disabled people. I had a gay friend, which means I can talk about gay people. I had a black friend once, which means black postman, which means that I can talk about black people, and he gave me the N-word pass, so I can say it whenever I want. And also, like, doesn't everyone have a bit of African in them? Doesn't everyone have a bit of like? Well, we all. Where do we even come from? Do we come from monkeys, or like, are we genetic? Are we genetically created? Like, that's the thing, is like, I've talked, how many podcast episodes have I got? I've talked about everything, like nearly everything, and there's still so much to talk about, but I still wonder if we're like genetically created by some sort of other race to be like some sort of biological fighting force, because we can reproduce quickly, we can deal with radiation because we're pretty close to the sun. And we're kind of complex. Like, if you look at all of our organs and everything, there's a lot of complex systems. Back to insulin. I wish I didn't eat so much sugar, but it's the modern diet. Everything has sugar. Literally everything has sugar. Like, I want to cut out sauces. I've already cut out crisps. I don't know how I did it. Like, I'm gonna eat crisps. Oh man, crisps. Crisps is just a shame. Like, all junk food is a shame that it exists because it tastes good. It really does. And there's no escaping from that. If I could only eat meat and vegetables for the rest of my life, I think I'd do that. But it's just, it's not as tasty as other stuff. But like, I need to cut out crisps, chocolate, fizzy drinks, and all this shit. I bought myself some Brew, lass. I bought myself some Brew. I cooked myself some salmon as well. That was what the beeping was about. I think I'm done. I think that's enough talking today. On camera. Anyway. Topics. The dimensions. The dimensions are all on top of us. I've been thinking about the fourth dimension a little bit, and So we can see the first, second, and we are within the third dimension. We can see third dimensional objects and creatures and things like that because that's what we are. But what if we also existed within higher dimensions, but like in the fourth dimension, we are just like a light being. We still move around within like the fourth. But the thing with the fourth dimension is like if you look at a tesseract in the third dimension, it's constantly moving. But in but there's nothing like that that exists within the third dimension. Like I can't look at some sort of object that's constantly like transforming because I guess I'm a third dimensional being. So if there so what I'm thinking is all of what is it called? Everything that's physical within the third dimension also exists within the fourth dimension, but it looks like what something. It doesn't look like what the second dimension is. Like if you look at a piece of paper and it has a picture on there, and it's flat and things like that, the third dimension wouldn't look like that within the fourth dimension. The third dimension would still look like the third dimension, but and this is if dimensions even exist, or if it isn't just scientists and physicists and smart people just trying to talk a bunch of bullshit so that they can get laid. They do that a lot. They pretend to be the smartest person on earth. Like, I'm the smartest scientist. I designed this little component which goes into the Hadron Collider, which found the God particle. Yes, that was me. Yes, I was in the team who found the God particle. Come to my mini mansion while we have gets together. The rich people get together. I want to be rich. I want to be rich and give. I don't even want to be rich for myself. I want to work on stuff that I love working, like creative stuff. I have so many creative ideas that I can't complete because of money and because of time and because I don't have like certain things to be able to do it. And I have the ability to work on skills within creativity, like my mind, and I guess certain things like drawing, writing, instruments, you know, thoughts. But there's stuff which like I can't work on, like instruments. Like I don't have a saxophone. I can't learn how to play a saxophone without a saxophone. I mean, I can watch YouTube videos, but then I guess that's not really the best use of my time, especially if I'm doing other stuff like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mixed martial arts, and Muay Thai, and wrestling, and no-gi grappling, and things like that. I would better use my time to learn about that and to focus on fights. Also, if I need to keep mentally stimulated. Like I always say, it's good to be mentally stimulated because, well, it depends on who you are. There are some people who are just dumb and like, you know, here's like a one of those things where you have like the circle, the square, and the triangle. Here, just give it to them, or like a coloring book. I've met some people who are so happy, grown people who are so happy to be given like a child's coloring book. And as much as it brings a tear to my eye in sadness, it's also very simple. And it's like, they're a beautiful soul, aren't they? Now, what religious people say. It's like, he's a beautiful soul and he's disabled. But I'm not making fun of disabled people. I'm just saying, like, there's such a disparity to intelligence, and there's such a range from like dumb to smart to disabled to genius, and it's so interesting that and everyone gets a vote. I don't think that should be allowed. Let me just say a whole bunch of controversial stuff. That's what people want to watch, right? They don't want to watch smart controversial stuff. They want to watch stupid stuff. Kim Kardashian is not is doesn't have 100 over 100 IQ. Well, what's controversial stuff that I can say? I don't know. LGBT? No, no, no. Whites, no, no, no. BLM, no, no, no. So I could just be the rudest person in the world. And that will probably get me more views than if I'm trying to like be smart. And I'm not trying to be smart. I am smart. Um, I keep myself stimulated as much as I can, and try not to get punched in the face by random people walking by me on the streets who look at you angrily. And like people who stand in gangs under bridges and shit like that, kicking the dog shit around. There's a bridge with a whole bunch of graffiti that I walk under, like in the evenings and in the middle of the night sometimes. They're just people fucking, not always in the middle of the night, but a couple of times during the day. There were a group of boys standing there, and they all fucking get so quiet when you walk by them. You're like, fuck off. What do you want? You want to fucking fight or something? And they all look at you as well. What do you want to see? Like they obviously want to see me naked, so I strip down in front of them, and they all take pictures of me, and I get done for sexual assault. Fucking, I've never been done for that, and I never will be, and I don't, and fucking, I'm a dirty comedian. If I ever went on stage, I'd say I just do, Andrew Dice Clay's whole routine, and then I try and do a bit of Eddie Izzard as well. The way he does his stuff is a bit weird. Like I do it in a whole bunch of different languages, and I'd just be like, "Oh, you're not smart enough to get it? Well, you pay me for the seats." Imagine being one of those guys, or like Adam Sandler, or like Martin Sheen, or whatever. A whole bunch of guys. There's so many comedians, but really it's a small amount. So many good comedians, but a very small amount as well. It's like the hardest job to do in the world, and you need nerves of steel, boy. Fucking Rodney Dangerfield's still fucking great. And that guy, Joaquin Phoenix, when he was playing the Joker, that happened in real life. He shot Robert De Niro right in the face. Man, I need to rewatch The Joker. I need to rewatch so many different films. You know I'm watching The Matrix 4 and Jackass 4 as well. Jackass Forever. Oh, I want to watch Johnny Knoxville like get launched into the just like launch him into the air with a massive pogo stick. Just watch his bones all crumple when he fucking falls onto the ground. Then Steve-O starts laughing with his like raspy voice. Like how does he laugh? Because his vocal cords are just fucking shredded. And then Bam Margera comes on. What's going on around here, Phil? He starts beating up Phil again. And then Don Vito comes back from the fucking dead. What are we talking about? Vulcan idiots. Like, and they have to put those subtitles on. Man, dude, oh, those were the good old days. Fucking MTV when it was fucking...